Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, April 6, 2010. Anti-government protesters fuel a revolution that ends the 5-year reign of President Bakiyev. Government troops respond with gunfire the following day, leaving at least 88 people dead. The events of that week not only changed the country, but also the life of Christian judge Arnikul Toksabayeva.
My pastor told me God did this revolution for you.
And she needed divine intervention. Government officials often mandated court decisions.
I especially remember 2 cases. One of them, they actually asked me to make someone guilty, and I was quite sure he was innocent. The other one was to make innocent someone whom I was certain was guilty. So I especially prayed in this situation because they also called me to the upper floor and they told me that I was supposed to decide in this way.
Toksabayeva's Communist Party family raised her as an atheist. Like most former Soviet republics, there was a new openness in the country after the fall of the USSR. Though Kyrgyzstan is a Muslim nation, many Kyrgyz embrace Christianity. Her faith pushed Toksabayeva to make just rulings. She often urged fellow judges to reject the corrupt demands of government officials.
I took courage and said openly that I won't participate in that. I opened my Bible in front of the other judges, non-believers, and I started to read it and pray aloud. I prayed and read the Bible out loud for 40 minutes. My colleagues looked at me as if I were crazy.
That stand led to trouble with the Bakiyev government. She says KGB agents planted money in her office and then accused her of taking a bribe.
Of course, the main reason why they did it to me was they wanted to remove me because I was not following their unjust orders. I said, "You cannot do anything to me. I'm afraid of God, but I'm not afraid of you."
A 4-year legal battle ensued. She ultimately lost her case at the appellate court on April 6, 2010, the day the revolution started.
I had no idea on what happened to Bakiyev and the politics until the next evening. I had a phone call from someone and they told me that Bakiyev left. I was praising the Lord, thanking him for all this.
In early June, with the president and many of his cronies out of power, the Supreme Court ruled there was no evidence against Toksabayeva. She was acquitted. During this time, she says the Old Testament book of Job brought encouragement.
He was like my companion in my difficult time. I understood that we need to hold on and become steady and persevere through all these hardships and troubles.
And the people of Kyrgyzstan suffered more hardship in mid-June. Attacks by Bakiyev loyalists against ethnic Uzbeks in the south of the country forced 400,000 people from their homes. As many as 2,000 people were killed. Some Uzbeks have returned to their villages, but many are afraid violence could flare up again. Several months after the ouster of President Bakiyev, some of the people here in Kyrgyzstan are still fearful that somehow this former president will return to power. Yet they're optimistic for the future. Voters recently agreed to change the constitution, giving their parliament and prime minister greater power. Parliamentary elections will be held in October, and as the nation presses toward democracy, Toksabayeva asked Christians to pray for righteous reform, honest leaders, and independent judges. She thanks God for changing her life and the lives of her countrymen.
I know the Lord is Master Chief of every power. I'm amazed at how almighty He is. He can change things in a minute, and He's never late.
Gary Lane, CBN News, Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan.